Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are joined once again here by John Bradshaw. Excited to have him on our podcast and Zoomcast. He is a life coach at Bradshaw Speaks, hailing from beautiful Memphis, Tennessee. He joins us live today again to talk more about all the work he does. And again, we're going to talk about his book and his overall goals in helping so many with his coaching. Welcome back. How are you, darling?
I'm doing wonderful. And you?
I'm doing fantastic myself. Pleasure to see you again. It's been a while. For those new-time listeners today, would you mind sharing a website, phone number, email? How would you like people to reach out to you?
BradshawSpeaks.com, mymentor.life.
Perfect.
Okay, I don't mind having my phone number. It's fine, too. 901-707-1029. It's good.
Awesome.
Uh-huh.
And tell us just a little bit of your background before we start. I know I have some great questions we're going to dive into today and, again, get to know you further and talk more about this relationship coaching. But just give us a quick overview about the type of people you're looking to help.
Well, just about anybody, mostly entrepreneur, spiritual stuff. And I've been married a long time, so most people reach out to me because of that. So I get a lot of people for relationship coaching. I guess I've been married 46 years to the same wonderful woman. She's been putting up with me a long time.
Wait, did you recently have an anniversary?
No, the anniversary was in October.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if any years gone by yet. So I'm like, wait, was it 45 years? Was it 44? Okay. Wow.
46.
Amazing.
46. Yeah.
And everybody wants to know the secret sauce, as they say, the secret to your success.
Well, I take the honey-do list well. Now, but one thing I said that, we try to talk a lot. That's important. Respect each other and listening. I think I said that before. Some people, they wait till one stop talking. I mean, they let other people talk just so they can talk. Mm-hmm. They're not really listening. So listening is a big key, I feel like, to a relationship, to really listen and hear and then respond accordingly instead of just, do you want to be right or do you want to be married?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say.
I like the way that sounds. And thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about some of the reasons that people do come to you for this relationship coaching. What is going wrong?
Well, I get a lot of people come to me. Actually, most of the time I get contacted by people so I can fix the other person. Okay, so most of the time people is part of the needing to be fixed, but they don't seem to think so. So they call sometime to so that you can fix the other person. They want to tell you the problems of the other person so you can fix it. Sometimes people call me cause their spouse, mostly men, their wife or girlfriend, want them to call. So in that case, I like to kind of get both views, because sometimes just trying to get the other person fixed when you don't feel like you're part of the needing to be fixed, So I recommend that. I like to talk to both of them either at the same time or separately. But even if I talk to them at the same time, I still like to talk to them separately so you can kind of get the real story. You get a better story as what's really going on when you can talk to them without, not really in front of the other person. Most people think that they're not the one that need fixing. You know how that works, right?
Yeah, it's always the other person.
I know my wife needs fixing all the time. I never need fixing.
But in reality, I think we all understand. Those that maybe are not mature enough to know.
You kind of get the real lowdown as to what's what when you can.
We're all trying to fix each other. Let's be honest. We all have problems. We all need to be fixed, and we have to own it, acknowledge it, and That's the best thing to do. Let's talk about the best way to receive life coaching as a couple in order to get results.
Well, like I said, the first time it's okay. Sometimes people ask for both of them to be there. I mean, in the chat or the video. But after that, I still like to speak to them separately because you kind of get more of a real story.
All right, we're talking relationships. I've just moved on. I'm sorry you couldn't hear me. In regards to you as a life coach, you're helping couples, but then do you also want to talk a little about business coaching today too, right?
Yeah. I that's my favorite subject is entrepreneurship. I've started 3 or 4 businesses. Well, 4 to be exact. Nice. I've done a lot of things, but I've started 4 kind of thriving businesses that I do well at. And I'm the type that I always want to be in business for myself. That has been something that I've always thought about for years. Is to do it for myself. And I kind of thought everybody wanted to do it for themselves, but I kind of found out that a lot of people don't really want to work for themselves. They just want to just go to work and get off at 4:30 and lock the door and don't worry about it. But I always kind of had a bug inside of me that I wanted to kind of do it for myself. Yeah. So I remember years ago when I was about 12, maybe 13 years old. I live in a little country town down in Mississippi. And can you still hear me? Okay, there you go. I saw your eyes move. I didn't lose you. And Martin Luther King came through there. And I knew the march had stopped just before they got in town, and I knew where they was going to pick the march up at. And I went down to that location. I don't even think my parents knew I was down there. I went down there to, everybody. He was our hero at the time. You know what I'm saying? And actually, and I know this is going to sound like I'm talking about 1919 or something, but that was the first time I seen people respond to a Black person with so much respect and stuff, as if we had formerly known as the way that they respond to white people. I know that sounds really back ages.
No, that's
but
fine.
it
I
was
want to
something
hear.
happened. Huh?
No, I want
It's
to hear.
something happened special inside me that day uh, to see a Black man with that power and that respect. It kind of made me. It kind of uplifted my way of thinking, and I know at that time I saw just a lot of people be maids and working meaningless jobs and stuff like that. It kind of made me want to reach for more. And I honestly think that's kind of where the bug came to make me want to do more, reach for more in life.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And I know I feel, I, as a Caucasian woman, have never experienced that. I have friends who are African American who I've seen them struggle. I've seen their families. I've seen what used to happen and how people, and so I commend you on that. And I love the fact that, gosh, this world, you better be kind. And I hope everyone is a lot kinder, right?
Oh yeah. It's a different world from what it is then. It's kind of like we've come a long ways, that's for sure. But I think for sure I came a long way.
That's it.
And yeah. So it's sometimes you have to get out and see things and learn what the rest of the world is like. When you know where you are, it gives you the ability to help other people more.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Well, do you want to share some more about the impact of coaching and how it's helping other people change, right? Some people don't know how to change this themselves and to figure it all out. And do you want to talk about the impact and also mention, about the family coaching you do because you're helping parents and children and families as a whole?
Yeah, I get calls too. Sometimes parents are not getting along with kids or blended families especially, or I tell you, was a big item, as in uh, my mother, my brother, my mother, his mother, or someone is sick and they need help. Do I move them in, and how to try to help approach that item? That's a big thing too. Like you know, especially a lot of people with dementia and stuff like that. They. Now I'm not a doctor or anything, but sometimes it's about putting yourself on the other side of the fence. You can easily turn somebody else's sick parent away, but how would you feel if it's your parent? You have to put yourself on both sides of the fence, and that's something that I believe in. Put yourself on both sides of the counter of the fence. I say counter because it's a business term. Yeah, yeah. So it's I actually learn a lot myself. Sometimes when I'm trying to coach someone else or fix someone else's problem, it helps fixes me too. So I'm coaching and getting coached, and I'm learning and I'm teaching, and it's all working both sides of the fence.
Mm. Well, work ethic is huge, and you got to teach people how to do that. And it's same with families and children too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? And but you have to be open minded. That's the other thing. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be closed minded in trying to feel like that everyone else needs fixing except you.
Yep.
So you got to kind of get over that bound to actually get people to kind of open their mind up and to kind of see both sides of things. And we can get a little selfish sometimes.
That's so
So
true.
you know,
Well, you're doing so much coaching, and you're clearly drawn to coaching in general. What would you say, right? What is the reason why you're drawn to this? Because you're helping people, and not just one. Some people do one. You do everything.
I think uh, I don't know if I'm drawn to it. It was drawn to me because I kept people kept coming to me asking me things, personal stuff about themselves and their situation and stuff. And my daughter just said to me one day that she was around me. I was talking to someone, and she said, "Dad, I think you probably should try life coaching." She said, "I think you'd be good at it because, you know, a lot of people, especially in the family and stuff, come always for information and help, and they seem to think that I gave decent advice. So I decided I'd see what that was like to try to spread that around. So I even took a course in it, and to kind of get a real gist of what it was like and the kind of approaches you should take and stuff like that. So I got a
Aw.
little certificate in it. So uh, that's kind of what it is. It's actually it grows me. It grows me tremendously.
Aw. Do you have an area that you prefer the most, or it's really whatever anyone, needs?
Well, actually, to be honest with you, I actually like the entrepreneurship thing, but people come to me more with the relationship, and you know, you got to feed the dog that's there with you.
Mm-hmm.
so so sometime I'm kind of a spiritual guy. You may set out one way, but sometimes you led somewhere different from where you thought you was going anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
it's rewarding. It's very rewarding to actually help somebody personally write their life. When they especially when you can get the person that thinks the other person got the problem
Yeah.
to see that they also got an issue themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, as an expert in your field, I want to know about, what's, um, really in a sense inspired or to actually encourage you to do this, and what was your motivation to really stand in it and staying in it until you really saw success?
Well, like I said, the thing that I actually like most was the entrepreneurship. There's something that's very rewarding when you can get out there and learn to make a living yourself on you you find something because you need to find something you like, preferably love. You almost need to look for something that if money wasn't an issue, that you would be willing to almost do for free. Mm-hmm. Those usually are the things that you're really good at. If money was no problem, what would you do if you wasn't getting paid at all? What do you like that much? Look at you looking all up in the air. You see anything up there?
I would love to just honestly, take care of my kids, raise my family. As a single mom, that's the hardest thing to balance out because I have to work to support them, to pay for the roof over their head, to pay for everything. But then you sacrifice the time with them. I'm envious of like those mothers out there who are stay-home moms, and I can't do that. So if I had all that money, I honestly would use it wisely. Of course, I'd probably be lavish and buy a nice house and car eventually, but it would give me the freedom and the excitement to be like hands-on with my children.
But sometimes it's a restructuring of what you do have. Like I remember a gentleman told me years ago when I was a young man. He said, there's a couple of things that you should start with. One is never get a bill that's more than one paycheck. Mm-hmm. And to make all the main expenses in your house fit what you can earn as opposed to what your wife can, because you will always have the option that if you want her to stay at home for some reason to take care of the kids or because she's pregnant or whatever. Because see, when I first got married, insurance didn't pay for pregnancies. You had to just pay for that out of pocket. They said that was a natural occurrence. So I came along when you was having kids, that was something you just had to pay for.
Yeah.
So, and usually my wife had a real hard time with kids. So she wasn't able to work during her pregnancies, Uh-huh. So I kind of learned to try to earn enough and to make it where everything was on my back, so far as financial. So that gave us options with her. So some of the times she didn't have to work. She did things. She worked for herself too. We kind of self-employed people. Mm-hmm. Actually, it kind of spread. My daughters are self-employed. Now my grandkids are beginning to work for themselves. Yeah. So I guess they either didn't know nothing else to look at, or maybe I inspired them. I don't know which one it was,
Well, I know you love, what you do, the passion for helping people, obviously. You've been very successful in this and helping people further. And unfortunately, we're just about out of time. I know we got a late start. We had some connection issues, so we'll make sure we redo this. We'll do another show, and we'll get our time back. And, we'll continue to speak, John. In the meantime, if someone does want to reach out to you, how do we do so?
BradshawSpeaks.com. mymentor.life. I got so much more to say.
I know. I am sorry if I didn't have a show next. I thought about it already. I checked because sometimes the schedule changes. I would have kept you on, longer, obviously, but I can't because I do have a 1:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Fix 100,000 people today is your fault.
Say it again. What?
I was intent to fix 100,000 people today, so it's your fault.
Yes. Oh God, I'm sorry. We'll do 50,000 for now, but we'll get the other. We'll get the full 100. I promise. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Okay. You have a fantastic day, and we will reconnect again. We'll start over. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's redo. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye, John.
Good talking.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.